Yo! What's up? What's up? What's
Hey, everybody. It's What's Up Wednesday. I'm Brittney. We're really glad to have you guys here tonight. It's the evening. It's the day before a holiday. So if you're on, maybe you're at the stove cooking or doing something like that. I have not cooked yet, so hopefully Julie does not pop on and hear that. To be fair, I still have 18 hours, I think, to go till it's due. So like Johanna, I'm procrastinating my project tonight. How is your week going, Robin?
It's good. I'm not doing any cooking, but I was like pre-gaming with stuffing tonight. Like I bought the box stuffing, and that's what I had for dinner because we didn't really have dinner. So I don't know. It was good. Yeah.
It's good to see you, Perla. If you're here, tell us you're here. Just say hi in the comments so we know who's tuning in with us. We've got some fun stuff planned, some festive things for Thanksgiving and the holidays, as well as some hot debates. At least it's a hot debate in the office if you're part of our staff team. I'm not going to call out Dan again, but he had some opinions about Christmas today. So we'll get off with that in a minute. However, before we hit that, we've got a cool weekend coming up. This Saturday at 10 a.m. at the church, we are finishing up Christmas decorating. So Jen got a good head start, but we've got the whole lobby to do. We have paper snowflakes that we're going to be hanging and stars, and we just could use help because it's always a lot. And then in the evening is the Christmas tree lighting in Cohoes. So we'd love to have you at either or both of those. And then on Sunday, we've got Feast and Friends, which means we're hanging out after church and having a meal. Our theme is soup and salad, so make something that you enjoy, and preferably something a little light since we'll just be coming off of Thanksgiving. And fun fact, most people consume like 3,000 calories in their Thanksgiving meal, so we're good for like a day and a half anyway. So bring a soup or a salad and it'll be fun. And with that, let me see if I can do this. We've got a fun poll. So those of you that are used to Johanna and her Menti polls, if you go to the top of the screen, you can see, make us even smaller. It's 8836-2574. So you can pull it up on your phone. I'm going to get mine out. I would like you to rank your classic Thanksgiving foods.
I'm so bad at making decisions. This is always so hard for me.
I guess it depends on what I feel like eating first. I was curious about this because I was curious how many people actually like Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, Robin, but I know Tim doesn't like Thanksgiving food. So he's pretty much, meh.
Yeah. I think not eating that exact meal for a whole year makes me pretty happy with eating that exact meal, but it's not something I would want all the time, probably. I don't know. I do like most of it, but all right, let's see.
I guess it depends. My mom's pretty good at cooking turkey, but there are some I like all the things. I just don't necessarily like how they're cooked on Thanksgiving. So
that's true.
I love green beans, but I don't necessarily want to eat them with the onions on top. So usually I just kind of, you make do, right? You pick around the parts that you really like.
That was one thing. Green bean casserole I didn't love when I was little, but it's one of my favorites now. Let's see.
Stuffing is taking
decisions quicker.
Wow. Two people have participated. So
I'm still working on it.
No Brussels. Sorry, Jen. I didn't even think about it. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, we
there we go.
I was trying to think of the classic things, but It's classic to our family because everybody has their own things that they make.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, sweet potatoes. Poor guys. The carbs, however, are winning the day.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard for me to pick between mashed potatoes and mac and cheese because I feel like I'm more excited about the mashed potatoes because I probably have them less often than mac and cheese, but I feel like mac and cheese is my favorite. So I don't know. It's like,
yeah.
it's hard to pick.
My mom is making mac and cheese with bacon in it this year.
Ooh,
So I have high
that's the way to
expectations.
go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, mac and cheese wins. Apparently, statistically, I don't know whose statistic this is. You'll have to take my word for it because I don't know where they got the answer. But in Thanksgiving trivia today, stuffing is the side dish of choice or the primary food, perhaps. I don't think turkey gets ranked very high. Does anybody eat something other than turkey on Thanksgiving? No.
I feel like I'm I'm never that excited for the turkey. Like even when it's good, it's like probably the least exciting meat. I don't know. And then when it's not good, it's not enjoyable at all. I don't know. It's good for leftovers though. Like when you're just mixing everything together in a sandwich, that's good. But I don't know that I'm ever like, oh yay, turkey. I don't know. It's about
Yeah,
the side.
agreed. All right, we've got one more on this poll. This is talk about a hot take, Jen. I want to know when you think it is appropriate to decorate for Christmas. If you already have the poll up, you should be able to it should just pop up on your phone as the next thing. So I want to see what you think. Two people before thanks to Furky. Valid, Rob. I forgot you were vegan for a moment. After Thanksgiving. All right. All right. Let's see if anybody is decorating all year long. Johanna is traveling. If I could put it in for her, I would, because I know that would be what she's doing before.
Yeah, that's what
Before. I don't know. I mean, Dan's not on this, but I'm going to tell him that according to the Americans at Spindle City Vineyard, you can just mash up Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I feel like I need to explain. I voted for after Thanksgiving, but that's because that's how I was raised, but I still decorate before Thanksgiving. My birthday is on the 16th, so it's like between my birthday and Thanksgiving, like if I'm feeling it, I'll decorate, but more so in the past 3 years. But I feel guilty about it, so that's why I said after Thanksgiving.
All right, here's the other piece to that. Thanksgiving / fall decor is not, it doesn't necessarily look good with Christmas. That's my quandary every year. I'm like, if I put up Christmas, I have to take down the pumpkins because in my brain, I just can't have them up together.
Yeah, I have both on my front porch right now, and it's a little bit weird. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with the pumpkins yet, though, because they're still perfectly good. So I don't know. I guess
Do
I
you
can
have,
go in the garbage.
yeah, if you have space in your yard though, if you they'll decompose on their own. You can always like break them in half to do it. But if you throw them in the ground and like just cover them with a little bit of stuff, they'll, as long as it's decent soil, they'll might grow next year. We did that in our
That's
compost
true.
bin, and then we had like 1,000 little pumpkins.
Yeah, my friend accidentally did that on her front, like off her front porch. She lives like in a complex of like townhomes, and she was like, "Well, we have pumpkins growing across our front porch." So, yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Just an opportunity to keep it going.
Yeah.
Matt is a purist, Jen. He's like, not going to do it. All right, everybody. I've got 2 more questions for you. I'm going to pull up a new poll. So you will have to put in a new code at the top just because that's how it's going to have to work. But because I have the free version and you can only have 2 slides per version. All right. So, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? And of course, you can certainly drop it right into the chat as well. You don't need to put it in the poll if you don't have your phone available. It's interesting to think about. Does anybody, well, I suppose as you're thinking about that, some families, it's a tradition to just actually sit around the Thanksgiving table and say it. I know we have. What else am I thinking? Those are all very, very good. Me too, Rob. I was just typing that into my part of the poll.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know if I would have said health before these past couple of years, but that is a big, I don't know.
It is.
It's actually something I think about.
Yeah, everything has changed. It's all a lot simpler now.
Yeah.
Ooh, they keep growing and changing. It's always fun to see those. So family's a big one because it gets bigger the more people that put it in there. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave this one up just because it's so good. So we'll give everyone a minute. I know, Jen, you posted your family, our church family, and memories of loved ones past. Rob, another vote for the Vineyard family, which is cool. They've got a great little church. I just love I just love everyone.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
All right. Well, as you're thinking about the things you're thankful for, we do have one more poll, which is kind of going to lead us to where we're headed. What is stressing you out about Thanksgiving? And maybe nothing's stressing you out, and that's okay. Instead, you can just be like, oh, I'm super excited. But Robin and I were talking, and we were just thinking about not everybody's headed into an easy day tomorrow. And so, depending on where you're at, we just wanted to be able to bring some encouragement and pray for people. So, is there anything about tomorrow that's stressing you out, or maybe it's just a hard holiday for you?
I know for a lot of my friends and other people I've talked to, Thanksgiving is it's nice to go home or go visit family, but then it's all right, now we have to have those conversations that I was able to ignore when we weren't face to face. I don't know, I feel like it always gets political or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just depends, right?
Yeah, Jen.
You could end up with it's different. I feel like Christmas is more nuclear families. Like people tend to just stay with their more immediates. And so Thanksgiving tends to be one of those things where you might end up, like you're saying, those people that you don't necessarily see all the time. And so you're like, oh no, they're talking about politics or COVID or whatever. And it can be kind of challenging. Having to spend extended time with people. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if that's you, Ashley, but I get that. Missing your Sabbath day in the midst of all of it. So let's talk about some things that help us navigate holidays. If you have strategies, things that Jesus has taught you, please pop it into the chat, or you can join us on the stream if you're inclined. And then Robin and I were just going to share what we were, the things that God's taught us to help us make our way through challenging conversations or days, or even days that are quite easy, but sometimes being around a lot of people can just be really tiring. So, I left my, I realized the banner is still up. Rama, did you want to share what has been helpful for you? I think Robin froze. I'll share what's been helpful for me. As some of you know, my family I have a blended family, so lots of step family and just all the extras of that, which is quite wonderful a lot of the time. But sometimes there are very different opinions. And so just very different opinions. And I found that, at least in those situations, sometimes it's better to just remain quiet. And the reason I say that is because I think sometimes the Holy Spirit just gives wisdom to say, it's not going to necessarily change someone's dynamic. They're not necessarily interested in having their opinion changed at the holiday table. And that's not even my purpose all the time. If it's overtly offensive, it's one thing. But most of the time, people are voicing just differing opinions that at the end of the day, they're not core to salvation or things like that. And so just taking a step back and taking a deep breath. And if it gets really hard, walking away and just praying from a distance. And then that's one thing I do. And the other thing is to buffer. So it's easier to buffer now that we have a child or even a partner. But when it was just me by myself, I would just usually use my buffer would just be to remove myself for a duration of time. And those were my two primary strategies and kind of still are.
Yeah, same. Sorry, I don't know what my internet is doing, but yeah, no, same. I have always found that my best course of action when I feel like it's not going to be a productive conversation is just find something else to do, which is easier with a toddler now.
Mostly because you can't have a complete conversation with a toddler anyway. Because they're like, pew,
Yeah.
pew.
Yeah.
I like the person who submitted the question, or really the feeling of, how do you go through a lot of extroverted time if you're an introvert and you don't have time off? I actually am feeling that stress too, because Friday's our only real day of quiet, and just really trying to protect that time and just say, we're going to be home and we're not going to do, we're just not going to do anything. Maybe get a Christmas tree, but trying not to overplan. So
yeah, that's so important too. It's like it feels like once Thanksgiving hits, then it's just like there is something like at least every weekend, if not every day or every evening. Like, yeah. So taking that time is really important, or else it feels like too much. I find myself when I have a ton of commitments, just like not enjoying any of them, which I feel like they should be enjoyable. It's all so fun, but it's like, yeah, you can't do that when you're burning out from it. So, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. So find a window, even if we can't get a full day, it's important to, and maybe that's that retreating thing. Even if you can't take a full day of Sabbath, carving out and protecting a morning or an afternoon. Yes, Jen, you have been running every direction. And it's hard because it probably will require us to say no to something, especially if our families are like over planners. But there is something to be said for a couple hours, just to say I'm going to block this off as a small Sabbath with myself or with my family or whoever. Grief at the holidays too. That's a hard one. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that one, it feels like it's always one of those things that comes around like harder during the holidays. You feel that person that's missing, or like those relationships that are strained, like you feel that more for sure. Yeah. My mom passed away when I was 10, so I've always found that like the easiest thing for me is just leaning into the relationships I do have, like whether that is just like my very immediate family or just even like reaching out to some of my relatives and just being like, hey, happy Thanksgiving or Merry Christmas or whatever it happens to be, just like because it's good to hear from those other people that are like in your life. So,
That's true.
but yeah, it's definitely harder for sure. Ooh, Rob, I like that. To be mindful of your breath and give everything to Jesus for at least a minute. That's awesome.
Mini Sabbath.
Yeah.
Breath prayers are cool. So if that's a new practice, for somebody who's watching, the idea is on the inhale you say one of the names of God. So Jesus, Father, Abba, whatever one sort of is probably the most comforting to you. And then on the exhale you say something very short. Obviously it's an exhale. So maybe on Thanksgiving it's like, give me peace. So Jesus, give me peace. Or Jesus, bless my family, which is always a really good one too.
Yeah.
That's great, Rob. It's really good. Yeah. What are some things that, even in the midst of maybe challenging situations, what are some things about the holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving or the stretch leading up to Christmas or whatever, that you are most anticipating? What are you most looking forward to?
I think even within like the busyness, there's like this planned downtime of like, okay, like, you know, Thanksgiving, we're sitting down, we're having a meal, or Christmas, Christmas Day, we're doing whatever our traditions are. Like we're gonna be home or we're going wherever. Like, yeah, there's busyness in it, but it's still like planned time that's different from like your usual routine. I think sometimes that can be good as a reset and a refresh and a break. Like even if it maybe is emotionally draining in a way, I don't know. It's nice to have that thing to look forward to that's not like my everyday. So
Yeah. That's part of the reason I really like Advent. It's busier for sure because I think about like all the different things that we do, but at the same time there's just like this new structure that forces me to take a deep breath every morning. I've used the same devotional for like 6 years by Ann Voskamp, and it is very short, and you can layer how much or how little you want to do, but I'm really looking forward to that. I look forward to reading through that every year. And I've got notes in there going all the way back to 2014. So it really just has it has been 7 years, a really like sacred journey that I can look back and see. And so I'm looking forward to that.
that's really cool.
That's a good question, Jen. I will Google it real quick. Ashley's looking forward to snow. Did anybody see I don't even want to call them snowflakes. They were teeny tiny little droplets of snow like 2 days ago in Cahoes around 3:30. I mean, there was like 10 in the sky, but I saw them.
I haven't seen any yet. Logan said he saw some at work the other night, but I mean, who knows what time that was? Probably nobody else saw them. But apparently it snowed like last Friday afternoon, and I had no idea. I was inside teaching, but I saw pictures of our preschoolers outside like playing in the snow flurries for a couple minutes. But yeah, so I missed that. So I don't know. I like snow. I think snow is good if it's gonna be cold out. Like we might as well have snow and have it look pretty. But if it's like just I hate winter. If it's just cold and it doesn't look nice, like it makes it so much harder.
Yes. It's very confusing for it to be very cold and very brown, and you're like
dark and yeah, I don't know. The snow at least is just like a little bright spot. I don't know. Or maybe
Ashley said, oh, we're just going to share that, Ashley, because that is quite the story. I mean, you can make your own joy.
that's really thing.
Super bad for the environment, but that's another topic, another day.
That I was in like a program when I was in like 5th and 6th grade where we went for like it was like an extra class we went to on Fridays. It was like at BOCES, but it was for like younger kids. And we like filmed a movie each year and it was really cool. And we like did all the set design stuff ourselves, but we did a Christmas Carol one year. And like, so it had to snow on set and we used like those like boxed mashed potatoes apparently those are like how you make snow on a cheap film set. I don't know, but it was kind of cool. It looked really realistic. So there you go. Maybe better for the environment.
I feel like I was just having a conversation with someone about boxed mashed potatoes and like the flakes. Maybe it was Jen. I don't know. But it definitely came up this week. So
I don't know. They weird me out, but honestly, they taste okay. If you put enough butter in there, and I think anything's gonna taste okay. So yeah.
Instant potatoes. Yes, Erica. Butter makes everything better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't be better with butter. Maybe cereal. That would be pretty gross.
That would probably not be good.
Well, we're hoping that in the midst of your holiday, whether it is something you're very excited for or something that you approach with mixed emotions, that you know that Jesus is sitting at that table or in that conversation or in that grief or in that joy with you. No matter how you are handling the day, he is going to sit right beside you. And so even if you're having a struggle, I just encourage you to, I love what you said, Rob, to just take a deep breath and picture him in the room. And if you don't know what to do, ask him. Say, I am having a hard time, and I know that he will be faithful to direct you. Your puppy steals full sticks of butter. So does my toddler.
Oh my gosh.
Bo saw the butter jar and was like, whoop.
Gosh, yeah. Esther still can't get it in our fridge, so or to our cabinet, so we're good for a little while. So that day's coming.
Is there a way that we can pray for anyone tonight? It doesn't have to be about Thanksgiving or the holidays. It can be anything that's on your minds, or anything you want to celebrate. What, Dan? I feel like, Dan, that was either a text to somebody else or a story waiting to happen. Or if that may be a prayer request. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we need more information there.
I didn't even want to share it, Dan, because I don't know what it means. Anyone? I mean, we can pray a Thanksgiving blessing over you all if that's where we're at tonight. I'll give you a minute in case there's a delay and everybody's like, I haven't had a chance yet. What are you most looking forward to tomorrow, Rob?
I'm excited to just be with family. I don't know. I'm excited for Esther to experience the holidays in like a real way, because she was only like 6 months old last year, so like she got to try all the foods for the first time, but she like didn't know what to think about solid food still at that point. Like she liked it, but it was all new. So I think this year will be fun, especially with a fork and everything. So
I'm looking forward to, Bo and I are going to do the Cahoe's turkey trot. I don't know that we'll do all of it, but we're going to at least do a little bit of it together. So we've got our bibs, our racing bibs and everything. And he's excited to go for a big race and a finish line. So that's really good, Jen. Yeah, we can pray for that tonight. Yeah, Jesus, we know that there's lots of people traveling and families getting together, and that is not overshadowed, Lord, but there's definitely that concern of COVID. And so we just ask for your hand of protection on all people, that you would bless our country with health, bless the world with health, Lord, even as people gather for other holidays around the globe. God, we pray for an end to this pandemic and an end to this disease. And we mourn the lives that aren't with us anymore.
Oh man, Erica, 6 a.m. That's an early day. Wow, that's commitment.
That is commitment. I love that they love to volunteer. I mean, they do so much. Would you like us to pray for you, Erica? Celebrate snow. Yes. Skiing twice already. Where are you going? I guess they're making snow. It has been cold enough for that.
That's true. I hadn't even thought about that. feel like I always hear about it when they're like, oh, there's snow now.
Robin, do you want to?
Yeah, definitely. All right. Lord, we just thank you for Erica and the Gross, and we pray that you would just bless the turkey trot tomorrow, and that their presence there will be a blessing to others around them. And we thank you for that volunteering heart, Lord. It takes a lot of dedication to get up at 6 a.m. on a holiday. And I just pray you would bless that, Lord. And I pray for peace for all of them and just a really, really good Thanksgiving, Lord. We thank you for their hearts for you.
And with that, we are technically over by a minute. So thank you for spending your Thanksgiving Eve with Robin and I. Hopefully you have a lovely day tomorrow. And even if it's hard, Jesus is with you in it. And text a friend. We didn't talk about the phone a friend strategy, but you got lots of Vineyard family that would be happy to pray for you in the midst of your day. So
we'll have a big Thanksgiving group chat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But I would love to God, I bless the Vineyard family. We love you and we're thankful for you. And we're thankful for the fact that you are the reason we know each other. So would you, in the midst of all these days and all these things and all the stuff that's to come, would you help us to just grow in a heart for one another, in oneness, in unity, in joy, in love, in peace. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Yes.
All right.
We'll start the group chat.
It's just going to be pictures, Erica, of people stealing butter at this point, or the kids and the dogs. You guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you do need support, just reach out to a Vineyard friend and we would be happy to help you make it through the holiday. That's what we're here for. Love you guys.
Bye.